What's up, everyone? It's Turner Fan 77 and David, aka the 4K Lowdown. How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Welcome to issue 11 of Comic Talk. And in this issue, we're going to be talking about Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. And we have a special guest with us tonight. Oh, yeah. Let's show yours. I'll show you mine. I'll show you yours. Oh. It went away. That's the problem with digital. Yeah. See, I go digital with my comics and physical with my movies. Kind of a weird thing. But anyway, let's get to our special guest. We have really old movies, aka Harrison at the stream. Hey, how you doing,
guys?
Harrison?
What's up, Harrison?
How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Glad you joined us tonight. So, how was your day, Harrison?
It was good. And nice and hot. It's starting to get to high 80s down here, so that's nice.
Oh wow, that's not California air, right?
I was like,
That's right.
it was 102 today here.
Oh shit! I ain't ready for that. That's too hot. I'm too old for that.
Oh yeah, I can't handle summers here. It sucks, man. It'll average 110, 115 in the summer.
Nope.
And it is awful.
Too hot.
Yeah.
We got Michael in the chat. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, Michael? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining us tonight for issue 11 of Comic Talk. So, Harrison, was this a first-time read for you?
No, the last time I read it, though, was when they came out 10, 12 years ago, because I used to collect the issues for it, and then I just sold them all like a year or two ago, and kind of kicking myself because if I kept them, I would have had a good chunk of the storyline.
Yeah. This is a great... What about you, David? I'm pretty sure this is the first time read for you.
First read for me. Absolutely. Yeah, I had never touched Miles Morales before this, and I wouldn't because he's a kid, but
I was going to say.
my daughter just yelled at me. I guess that was inappropriate. No, yeah, I hadn't read this storyline before, so this was a first read for me.
I'm glad you both read it, so we can just jump right into this. I got a couple little facts about this run and about Miles Morales. So first up, Miles Morales made his first appearance in Ultimate Comics Fallout number 4. It was published back all the way in August of 2011. And if you're not familiar with the Ultimate Comics line, it kind of was like Marvel was kind of in shambles at the time. Their comics just weren't very good. And they made Joe Quesada. I don't know if you guys know who Joe Quesada is. He was a great artist. Became editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. He wanted to do some fresh stuff. So he made a whole new universe, with not bogged down by continuity, update the characters, and they kicked off with Ultimate Spider-Man. And I remember falling in love with that line. They did Ultimate X-Men. They did the Ultimates, which the Ultimates you kind of got the MCU and the Ultimates, because that's kind of what the MCU is. But then Spider-Man ran 133 issues. Then they did another volume of it and ran for a little bit longer. And then they did something. They killed him. They killed Spider-Man. And they had to find a new Spider-Man. And they found it in Miles Morales. So this volume of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man was written by Brian Michael Bendis. And the art is fantastic. I think she's Italian. Sarah Pacelli. I don't think she's American. I think she lives in Italy somewhere. Sarah Pacelli. Oh, she's a fantastic artist. I think she did the first 15, 20 issues of this run. And then there's a couple fill-in artists. Then she comes back. And then I think David Marquez picks up the art chores, which he's a great artist too. This volume of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man ran for 29 issues. Not a lot, but in today's age, a lot of comics don't last that long. They go 25 issues, maybe 30, and then they reboot them, and it's the new number 1. Okay, guys, so overall, David, what did you think of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man?
You know what? I thought it was a clean read. I gotta say I was a little spoiled from Court of Owls with a few things. So this was kind of a refreshing palate cleanser. It was easy read. It was easy to follow through.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I read it in an hour when I finally opened the pages and started going. So yeah, I actually I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Oh, good. What about you, Harrison?
We got
What's
Nate.
up,
on
Nate?
Well, I liked the concept of it. Like, I really like the idea of Miles Morales because, you know, there's different Robins, there's different Batmans, there's different, well, even in Marvel, there's different Thors, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, at least for this, because I haven't read all 29, I felt like it was a lot of setup, but not a lot of payoff, if that makes sense. Like, it just felt like a lot of exposition, and we didn't really get to see who he was till like the last page. I was like, okay, finally, but I have to read the next volume.
See, that's what I like.
Hmm.
This writer, Brian Michael Bendis, he does that a lot. He doesn't. They don't rush him into his Spider-Man costume. You see him in Peter Parker's costume,
Mm-hmm.
but I like that they took the time. The slow build. You got to see his family. You got to see his kind of his relationship with his uncle, which that pays off later down the line in the run. But yeah, I remember reading this. I remember seeing his first appearance in Fallout because I read that, liked that. And then as soon as I grabbed this book, this sucked me in because I was like, holy cow, I love this. It wasn't your typical, typical white guy Spider-Man. It wasn't, and that's the appeal of Spider-Man. Spider-Man can be anybody behind the mask. You know, Spider-Man has all the same problems we do. And he's not perfect at all. But yeah, this from start to finish, these 5 issues, right? It's 5 issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were great. This, all the way from for me, just me. The story, the art, it was a great kickoff to this character. You guys got anything else before we jump into scoring it?
I do real quick. So, just as a comparison, I also have the original Amazing Spider-Man here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a throwaway comic, but the very first issue of Peter Parker as Spider-Man, we get his whole character arc within like 5 or 6
Mhm.
panels, right? Like, he's this nerdy kid, nobody likes him, and then he gets bitten by a spider, gets into a fighting ring, that sort of thing. And then the death of his Uncle Ben, you know, spoiler alert, but whatever.
I didn't know that.
No
Right.
rice for him.
But like the very last panel here really sets the mood for me. It says, a lean, silent figure slowly fades in the darkness, aware that at last that in this world with great power comes great responsibility. So to me, in these 13 pages, it set up the character of Spider-Man personally for me better than Miles Morales did in the 5 issues. So I don't know. That's just me though. But
Oh, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But okay. At that time, when Amazing Fantasy 15 kicked off, there was no such thing as trade paperbacks.
right.
And at this time in Marvel Comics, and I still think they do it today, they write for that collected edition. They drag the story out to like 5 to 10 issues so they can sell it because it sells crazy on like at Barnes and Nobles, the graphic
yeah.
novels. They
Oh, yeah.
sell like hotcakes. So this, I understand what you're saying. I think that's a victim of that, of them dragging the plot out. And so, but I personally like that. I don't want to see Miles, page 1, be Miles, doesn't know what he's doing. And then
Mhm.
by the 22nd page, he's in his costume out swinging the webs. I would rather see him struggle. I'd rather see his supporting cast because he's got a great supporting cast. He has Genki, he has Spider Woman. I forget who else is in there, but yeah, that's.
I'm gonna throw his uncle in there.
Oh,
yeah, his Uncle
Yeah,
Aaron.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
I
Prowler
do
in.
really like him.
Okay. My question for you. Okay, you read these 5 issues.
Mhm.
What is your comparison to Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse? How would you
Is this for me or Harrison?
both of you? Both of you.
Hmm.
How would you? I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying it right. The comparison from the graphic novel to the movie. How did it transition from the graphic novel to this movie?
You know, it's interesting for me coming from seeing the movie first before reading the comic book,
Mm-hmm.
because if it would have been the other way around, then I would have saw Easter eggs in Into the Spider-Verse that reference this,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I saw in here were Easter eggs referencing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really interesting. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now, if I see it from the other side of the fence, because this came out way before the movie,
Oh yeah.
that, so Into the Spider-Verse actually had Easter eggs to this volume, which was to these issues, which was really cool.
Yeah. What about
But
you,
as
Harrison?
far as comparing it,
Okay.
it's like apples to oranges to me. It's two completely different things. But I do like, some of the origin matchups that they did here.
Did you hear the voices when you were reading the comic? Did you hear the movie voices?
Yeah. Especially with the uncle and the dad.
Mm-hmm.
That was the voice I was hearing, and the mom. That's the voice I was hearing in my head.
Yeah.
Was them.
Okay, your turn, Harrison.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like the movie version a little bit better. I don't know. To me, it seems in that we kind of get more of Miles' struggles on the screen than I feel like we do in this book. And like I said, there's 29 issues. We
Mhm.
get more of that later on, but I kind of like that it was shortened down and condensed a bit for the movie. Especially his connection with his Uncle Aaron. I really liked that aspect in the movie, especially. That was really cool.
But that does come to play later on later on in this volume.
Yeah.
Uncle Aaron comes back because he disappears in here, right? His apartment's cleaned out, right? Am I remembering that right?
Yeah.
Dad's like, Dip, you got to go.
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah. All right. So we're going to jump into scoring. David, you got your math pencil ready?
Oh, yeah.
You ready to do your dirty math?
It is sharp. I'm ready to do my dirty math.
Math addict.
So let's kick off with plot. You go first, Harrison.
Plot. We're scoring out of 10, right?
We're scoring out of 10. And then
Remind him what the plot is.
The basic synopsis. So basically, you read the back of the thing without knowing anything about this storyline. How likely would you be to go ahead and read it without us actually forcing you to read it? On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah. Let's see.
And I can read it for everyone if they want, but that's up to Rich. It's his show.
No, go ahead, read it. But I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
go
have
for
on
it.
my, digital copy.
Yeah. Before the original Spider-Man died, young Miles Morales was poised to start the next chapter in his life in a new school. Then the bite of a stolen, genetically altered spider granted the grade schooler incredible arachnid-like powers. Now, Miles has been thrust into a world he doesn't understand, with gut instinct and a little thing called responsibility as his only guides. Can he live up to Peter Parker's legacy?
Okay. Well, I'd probably say a 6. Because it's intriguing me, but I really like Peter Parker, so I'm having a hard time letting go of that. They're already telling me he's dead. It's like, oh, okay. I'm interested.
Did you read The Death of Peter Parker?
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I want to say it's like an orange cover with him, like twipping or whatever. It's like Death of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember reading that and how like emotionally impactful that was to me as a kid, because I loved Peter Parker. I grew up reading my dad's old Spectacular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. So yeah, that was interesting seeing that.
And they did a fantastic job, and it was very emotional.
Yeah,
and it wasn't hokey. That's what I liked. It wasn't a hokey death. It was, and it stuck.
oh, definitely. I'd put it up there with like Death of Superman and
Yeah.
Death of Superman would be a good one to compare it to.
Yeah.
All right. David, what is your score?
Okay. For plot, I'm kind of in the same boat as Harrison. I gave it a 6. My reasoning behind it was, I think I was an okay Spider-Man fan, but I wasn't a big Spider-Man fan. So I think the death of Peter Parker is the only thing I did read of Spider-Man. Otherwise, I wasn't really collecting his stuff. I would see him when he was involved with Fantastic Four, because I was a Fantastic Four fan.
Mm-hmm.
When he did his things with the Avengers, I read that because I like the Avengers, but I wasn't really a fan of Spider-Man by himself. And so to read this, I was kind of like, okay. But because the new Spider-Verse movie was coming, I definitely wanted to read this. So this was actually my choice.
Mm-hmm.
Where when we were picking our publication.
Timed perfectly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I gave it a 6 as well. I was kind of like, all right, I'll read it. And I actually procrastinated for a while because I was like, I got time. And then, power went out at my house for 10 hours. So I was like, I guess I'm going to read Spider-Man since I can't do anything else. But
you had your wife there. You picked a comic book over your wife.
My wife was asleep, bro.
Oh.
It was 12:30 in the morning. She is out. And if I wake her up for any reason, I'm going to get a knife. So
that is true. That is true.
She's Filipino. She'll stab me.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
But yeah, no, I gave it a 6 as well.
Okay. Well, I'm going just a tad bit higher because I love this. I remember when they marketed this book, I was in. I'm going to go 7 because I agree with everything you said there.
Cool.
Okay. We got those down. We're going to jump right into Arc. Harrison, you're first up.
All right. Arc.
David, remind him the Arc.
Okay, so the Arc is basically looking at the beginning and end and judging the growth of the characters, the growth of the story. So without like looking at the journey as a whole, where it began and where it ended, how did that arc play out?
Okay. I think it's just due to the limitations of this specific release. I think I give it a 5. And the reason being, I feel like Miles himself, he's wearing the costume now. He has his own really cool one. But I feel like he's really not in a different place because he got the powers in like issue 2, I want to say. And so there's not a huge difference between there and then. And like his friends, his friend is in on it now too. I guess that's a change for him. I don't know. But so I have a question real quick. Okay. I haven't read all of these. And this is a spoiler for the original Spider-Verse. So if you haven't seen that yet, I guess cover your ears. But does his Uncle Aaron die in the comic series like Spider-Verse? Yeah. Okay. So I wish that was earlier on then, because I think that would have been more impactful in his character arc. So I feel like in this, I think the arc is just him getting his own suit, being his own different person. If that makes sense. So.
I think there is a death coming up in this book that is more impactful than Uncle Aaron's death.
Oh, okay. I think I remember.
And I think this is his Uncle Ben moment. The death of this character is his Uncle Ben's moment. And it's done fantastically.
Okay. I'll message in the chat to see if I'm right or not. In the private chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I gave it a 5. I kind of want A little bit more. No? Okay.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't want to spoil it for David.
No.
Don't spoil it for me. I haven't read it.
Don't read the web chat.
But yeah, what was your score?
Oh, I gave it a 5.
You gave it a 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
That's right. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, so this is interesting. There were things that I absolutely loved about the arc, in particular Miles's arc,
Mhm.
because of how, and this is kind of goes back to how Rich, you and Harrison were debating on how slow the progress was, and I didn't feel that way on a personal level for Miles, because at first he was like, all this crap has happened. I'm going to this school, and then, pardon my French, oh shit, I got bit, and now I got all these powers, and I don't want them.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He didn't.
I want this to go. I want to be normal. I want this to go away. I want to do the school thing and do my thing. And then he comes out of that and he goes, no. Once Peter Parker dies, he's like, I've got to step up now and be Spider-Man. And the suit was in poor taste. There was a lot of that. But
like 20 times.
but it came through, with the ultimates and everything in the end. And then I thought it finished. I thought the arc for Miles was spectacular.
I do too.
Alongside, that with the arc of the friend.
Genki.
Yeah. I just called him Gank, but yeah. But Genki, his arc was cool.
Mhm.
And I would have liked, more of him in Into the Spider-Verse, when really he was just kind of the roommate, right? Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know. It seemed like the same kid.
And see, the thing that bugged me about the MCU Spider-Man movies, they made Ned basically Genki.
Yeah.
I hated that. I absolutely hated that. Why not just call him Genki? And because
Yeah.
Ned in the comics, if you don't know, is the Hobgoblin.
Right. I was going to say he's the Hobgoblin, so it's kind of
Yeah.
weird how they did that.
I did not like that.
But I don't know. I'd like to see Ned become the Hobgoblin. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. Take the hair off, his baldness, and I'd be totally down for that. And he's Filipino.
I just didn't like how they did that.
Filipinos, bro. But no, because of that, just that, I loved that arc so much that I gave the arc a 10. I was totally enamored with that whole arc and characters.
David, I'm right with you on that. The journey from Miles, from that first opening page to him in that costume, I loved it. It's a 10 for me.
Yeah. I mean, just that subtle thing, like he wore that Spider-Man costume, and everybody's like, dude, so wrong.
So, and I wish they would have done that in the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
And
a
he
little
would,
bit
like-
of that.
And he's like, well, I'm trying to honor him. And it's like, no, even down to Nick Fury and all those guys. No, bro,
Yeah.
not cool. Take that off. It's like, I'd rather you wear a Madonna outfit than come down
With the boots.
with the cone,
Yeah, the pony boots.
with the cone. And Webb's got to come out of that. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
shit. Oh, that made me think. Have you guys seen the latest trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? With the cat? Have you checked that out?
I haven't seen that one. No.
There's a cat. He pins, I think it's Miles, up against the wall, and then he spits the web out of his mouth. I was like, what? It just made me chuckle a little bit.
At least it didn't come out of something else. I'm just
That is true. That is true. Okay, so I gave it a 10. We're gonna jump into the story. Harrison, you're up.
Harrison, you're on.
Okay. And so, remind me again the difference between arc and story.
Okay, the arc, basically, the arc is beginning and end, and how there's a difference. The story is the middle, is like the whole journey.
Oh, okay.
Like, were there questions that remained unanswered? Were there, holes that didn't get filled, things like that, to where you're like, I would have liked more of this, or I would have liked more of that, or hey, I got the closure that I wanted, that kind of thing. So
Gotcha.
this is
Okay.
kind of story is kind of all encompassing, where it's kind of part characters, part arc, and part ending. So you're kind of looking at the whole picture.
Okay. Huh. I don't know if this is self-contradictory or not, but I'll give that a 7.
No?
I actually really liked the connection, or I guess the friction between Miles and his dad, and how he would go to his Uncle Aaron. Like, I kind of wanted that to be the whole focus. I didn't like anything else around it. I really liked that aspect of it. And so that's what keeps me interested, to keep knowing, what happens next, and seeing how that boils out. So yeah, I give that a 7.
And that friction between his dad and his son, or Miles and his dad, that seems real, right?
Very real.
Miles, his world to me is very grounded in reality. If that makes sense. He has real world problems. That doesn't seem too far-fetched. Yeah. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, it's not like I can only lift 2 cars instead of 3. Don't give me that kind of storyline. But yeah, no, I gave it a 7 too. I'm right alongside with Harrison on this.
Mm-hmm.
There were things that I liked, and things that I was like, okay, I would have liked more of that. I would have liked more detail there. The character development here, and this goes with the arc, was phenomenal. And I give points to that in the story. What's missing is I wanted more of the dad and the uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted more of the mom. I wanted more of Gank. I wanted more all that, more on the school, kind of give me a little bit more on the school, things like, I know they only had 5 issues, and they really focused on Miles and his inner turmoil that he's dealing with. But there's one thing, and I was trying to find it, but I don't have to because I remember it. There was a point where Miles is talking to his dad after the whole thing happened, where he was at the uncle's and he got bit by the spider and the convulsions and all that crap. And the dad's like, I want you going over there. And then there was this big thing, and the dad was like, okay, here's what happened. And the son's like, why didn't you ever tell me? And that's a total, like you said, Rich, total real world thing.
Mm-hmm.
To where,
everything you're saying you want,
mm-hmm.
you get all that.
Yeah, I get that as the story progresses. Yeah. I just wanted a little more of that here. So, so I learned more. I didn't need to know much more about Spider-Woman or the Ultimates or anything like that. I was okay with that just being at the end and just kind of like, oh, hey, Nick Fury, Tony Stark. I get that. But yeah, I wanted more of the family dynamic, particularly the dad and the uncle. I wanted more, maybe even a flashback piece.
Yeah.
Of what happened with the dad and the uncle. That would have been.
I don't know if it's in this. I think it is in this volume. We get a really good flashback. I know it's hard. I don't want to spoil it because the uncle is such a pivotal role in Miles' character. Because he asked if he dies. I said, yeah, he does, and it affects Miles. It still affects him currently in what's going on in his books now. So yeah, Miles' story development from this issue all the way to what's happening now in his books is phenomenal. I just love this character. Story for me, it's hard to separate and focus on these 5 issues because I know what happens. I think I'm gonna go 8. I really am. I even liked how they touched. It ran concurrent with the death of Spider-Man, and you see the little flashbacks of Norman. And there at the beginning, it's the first issue, right? We see the flashback of him working. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's the first issue.
Yeah. And there's something that they keep calling him a mutant, a mutie.
Yeah.
that is a very big thing in that universe, and I liked how they brought that over from the other books into this one. And that's a little Easter egg for me, because that was mutants were. I mean, if you think the regular 616 Marvel mutants were feared and hated, they were worse in the Ultimate Universe. And I like how everybody, and he thought himself was a mutant.
Yeah.
I like that. So I said 7, right? No, I said 8.
Yeah, you said
what I
8.
said.
You
Yeah,
said
I said
8.
8. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 8.
My granddaughter blew me a kiss goodnight.
Oh,
She's going to bed.
all right, man. Okay, we got the story out of the way. Now, characters. This is easy for me.
Of course it is. Did I just put your 10 down now, bro?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put your 10 down.
Hmm.
Because I mean, he named his son Miles
Yeah.
because of this thing.
Well, there you go. That's a 10 right away.
That can't be anything other than a 10 for him.
Yeah.
Yep. It's my turn, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'll do another 7. Why not?
Why not? Throw the 7 at it.
Yeah. I really did, like I said, I really liked the Prowler character, and I liked the Ultimate characters around them. Like the, who was Spider-Woman and whatnot. Miles himself, though, is why I'm not giving it a 10. I wish we got a little bit more from him. He seemed a little one note to me, at least in these early issues. And for me, I had a hard time relating to him because, he's going to this fancy private school and he doesn't want to go there, that sort of thing. But like you mentioned earlier, I do like the conflict with him and his dad and how realistic that was. So that part of it, I do like. So hopefully later on, I'll start to like him a little bit more. But right now, though, I really like the Prowler character, his dad, and the supporting cast, I guess, if you would call it that. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm pretty much in between you guys. I gave the characters an 8. I felt like I said, I didn't care for the Miles character at first, but he warmed up as his character moved along. So I like that. I have to say the uncle's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Even though you don't get a whole lot of him, all of a sudden he disappears. But I liked the uncle. And I was like, I want to know more about the uncle. Even though I do from the movie, I want to know more about him, the storyline in the comic book. What happened to him? Why was his apartment empty? Where did he go? I want to know more about him. So that was my biggest thing. I liked, Genki was all right, and the other characters were fine. The Ultimates were cool, but yeah, that's why I was at an 8. Wasn't too happy with Miles at first, but as he grew as a person, I came to like him more as a character.
And he's young. He's written very young in this.
Yeah. Was he like 8?
Right?
No.
And maybe that's why, too, right? He's a little kid.
And okay, I'm going
I was going to do a little kid voice, but I don't think I can. My allergies have been crazy. Oh, I got spider powers.
Okay, you look how small he is when he's drawn and he's in this book, okay? I liked this style, his size, and he stayed this way for the longest time. And then when this new writer and artist took over, they made him like giant, like he's Peter Parker's size. And I absolutely hated that, and I still hate it to this day. I wish they would have kept his physique, this small, lanky teenager, but now he's just like a jacked, late teen guy. It doesn't. I don't like it. His look now. They're just a little rant I have. And you already got my.
All right, changing your characters to a 9.
No. Okay, now we're gonna jump into ending.
Okay, so yeah, this is specifically the ending. Did everything get answered? Did how epic was the ending? Was it exciting? Did you get the closure you wanted? Things like that. They're just encompassing the ending by itself.
Yeah. Okay. Um, let's see. I liked this ending right here where he's officially in his new suit.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the extra comics they have at the end. It's like I don't really need these. Like this
What are
one
they?
with people in Washington D.C. and these weird alien things. It's like I don't need this.
See, I don't remember that. See,
Yeah,
that's not in the single issues.
Yeah, that's a different thing. It's like I don't know because it looks like Reed Richards and Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah.
Is it started?
Yeah.
Is it the start of Divided We Fall?
Maybe I don't know.
It says
I
Ultimate
don't know what that
Comics
is.
Fallout 4 is his first appearance, I think. And then what's this other one here?
Yeah,
See, I
and then
just read it.
it just leads right into another comic. I thought,
Oh, here we go. Ultimate X-Men is the other one.
Oh, maybe it was like a preview. I don't know.
Could be. But I didn't like that part. So I won't dock points because of that, because it's not the original intention. But
Right.
I think I'll give it a
it's
9.
as part of the ending of basically the ending of issue 5 is what you're.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll give it a 9 because I really like that picture. That's pretty
Me too.
awesome. Pretty awesome action shot there. And we finally see him in his own suit. And so makes me excited for the next ones.
Yeah, that's a good score.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit, so
That's okay.
I had to mute. I gave the ending an 8, and again, I thought it was solid. I did like the suit change. I wanted it to go a little bit further than that, but I liked the battle with Electro.
That was pretty cool.
With the Ultimates, and they were all doing stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I kind of wanted more about how Miles dealt with that battle, because that was his first like serious battle.
Yeah.
And he was with all these adults. So I wanted a little bit more of that. So that's why I dropped it down to an 8. Otherwise, I'd be right up there 9 or 10. I thought it was a really good ending.
I'm with you on that, all with that. So I'm giving it an 8 too. But my question for you guys, we haven't talked about it. His powers. I like his. Do you guys like his cloaking and his venom blasts?
Yeah, it's new. I think
it's different.
I think it's a fresh change.
I agree.
I like and the fact that it's kind of he hasn't controlled it yet.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of like when he gets upset or scared or whatever, he's gone. And I dig that. I know later on he's gonna gain control of it.
Mm-hmm.
I also like the taser thing.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I like the power change, but he still retains the essence of the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
With the wall crawling and the danger sense and all that. So
the Peter tingle.
Yeah, Peter tingle.
Yeah.
Or in this case, the Miles motivation.
There you go.
The Miles movement.
There you go.
And, yeah, I'm with you on the ending. It's an 8 for me too.
Yep.
Now we're going from the story aspects. Now we're jumping into the arts. And first up is color. This was colored by, I think, Justin Ponzer. I'm not sure. You guys got yours handy right there.
I had it.
I think it's Justin
cover
Ponzer.
art.
Yeah, Justin Ponzer.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Ponzer.
He's a great colorist. I think he passed away, I think. If he did, RIP. But he does a fantastic job in this. So Harrison, what would you give this?
I'm trying to find my favorite page here. Darn, I can't find it. Well, I'll give it an 8 because I just love like the covers for these are really
Mhm.
really good. Like look how vibrant that red is on the green background and
Yeah.
just how it pops out. I really really like that. So whatever program they use, probably Photoshop, they did a real good job.
Yeah.
Let's look at that, an 8.
It's a good score.
Yeah, I'm right on board with that, Harrison. I gave it an 8 as well. And, in particular, I really like the coloring on the invisibility.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Note
Oh,
that.
man, I was gonna point that. Oh man, I just
See,
changed
change
it.
page. Haha, I win.
Yeah.
Um, and with you see the graffiti behind him. You see right through.
Mhm.
I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
I thought the only thing with the coloring is I could have used a little bit more shading and stuff. It was pretty bright. But Miles is a kid. There's a little bit of innocence there. I kind of get
Mhm.
it. It's not Court of Owls. To where
No.
it's like
It's no
not dark.
Cordell's.
It's not dark like that. So yeah, I gave it an 8 as well.
I'm right with you again. I think it's funny you picked that same page I was going to.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with 8. I'm with Harrison on the covers. But I don't know if does he do the covers on
Says
It
some
just-
of them.
It just says cover art is Kari Andrews, but
okay.
it doesn't say that there's a different colorist for
It
the
doesn't
cover.
matter. It's still color.
Yeah.
I'm skimming through here, and like you said, the bright. I love this. The frustration in Miles, and you can see the colors on that. I like that. I really do. So yeah, I'm with an 8 on that. I'm trying to. Even the Lego scene in the next page over, the colors really pop. I like how you get the semblance of them falling when there's a little blur to them. I don't know if you guys can. Oh, let me drop this. I don't know if you can see that. The blur. I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a whole lot of stuff going on, but a whole lot of colors and
Yeah.
especially with the sunset. And that was the point that I wanted to make was that right there.
Yeah, that's good. That is really good.
But yeah, dug it. Not perfect, not fabulous, but solid.
It's really hard to rate color in a comic book because it also depends on the pencils.
Yeah,
it kind of
it's kind of all encompassing. You gotta look at the pencil or the inker, all that kind of stuff.
And see, if this wasn't done by Sarah Pacelli, I wouldn't have given it an 8. I probably would have gave this just a normal 5 or 6. But
yeah, it probably would have been a 6 for me.
Since we're talking about it, we're going to jump into the art, and that is Sarah Pacelli. She's fantastic. I love her artwork. I'm going to jump ahead of you, Harrison.
Oh, that's fine.
This is a 10. This is a straight up 10 for me. All right, Harrison.
All right. Well, I gave it a 6.
What?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more of a fan of the cover artists than I am the actual characters. Just in some scenes here, they seem a little too cartoony for me. I don't know. I kind of like that style a little bit.
Dude,
more,
I get it.
A little more realistic.
Like we always say, film, art, all subjective.
That's right. But I didn't hate it. I'll say that. Like I've seen much worse.
I agree with you. I mean, I love the way she captures Miles' facial expressions. That's something I really, really liked. You can see he's like some scenes where he's distraught, doesn't know what to do. Yeah. What about you, David?
Okay. And I wanna point this one out. On that side.
Okay.
Facial expressions that he has,
Mm-hmm.
things. I did like that. She did really well with the eyes.
She did.
I give her props for the eyes. I did like that. I thought the lines of the face weren't as detailed. They seemed kind of, especially at a distance, they were really just kind of generic. Not, and I know, and I have to say, I'm spoiled by Court of Owls. Court of Owls was just such an amazing piece of artwork.
It really
Mhm.
is.
That
It
as soon
really
as
is.
I was like, oh, and then, but then when I got into it, I was like, okay, I'm seeing what she's doing. So I actually gave this a 7.
Dave, you're killing me.
Bro. I gave it a 7. I mean, it's just, I think it's good, but not great. I think she did a good job with certain things. I think there were some misses on here, but I think overall, I mean, there's no way I could do that. I could do stick figures with a cape, but that's as good as I can do. So I'm a -3 on a scale of 1 to 10. So, but as far as what we've looked at so far, this is kind of, yeah. It's about, it's better than, 3/4 of it, but there's still like 1 or 2 books where the artwork was better.
I totally get it. I do.
I would put this better than Nailbiter.
Oh yeah.
As far as artwork, but not as good as Walking Dead and not as good as Court of Owls.
Oh, to me, this is hands above Walking Dead.
And I don't know. I love Walking Dead. The fact that there's no color in Walking Dead, it's black and white.
That is true.
You get all that detail, all those lines, all that emotion. I'm totally here for the artwork on Walking Dead. But again, solid. Gave it a 7.
Good score.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna go to page layout. I don't think they do anything. What's the word I'm looking for? They don't reinvent the wheel on this.
No.
It's just a generic page layout for me. What do you think, Harrison?
Once again, I'm struggling to find the page I'm looking for, but I gave it an 8. I actually like a lot of the action shots in some of these, like this page here, for example. You got a close up here of this guy, and then over here we got this guy who's beaten to a pulp and all that.
Yeah,
I like the different angles that they do. I think it's really interesting, especially in the more action scenes, or like when he's like saving the girl from a fire. That was pretty intense. I really like that too.
What's up, Evan? Evan's on.
Evan? What's up, Evan? How you doing, man? Thank you for joining us.
But yeah, that's why I gave it A. I think the action scenes were really, really cool. Cool layout.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, for me, this is old school layout. I love it. There were, basically the only thing you got to watch out for is it switches from being, all left and then go over to the right to where you go across the top and then across the bottom. You just got to watch that, because there were a couple times where I was like, okay, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I got to go the other way. But only 2 directions it goes. It's not like it doesn't do any gobbledygook crap like Court of Owls did, to where I was having all kinds of problems trying to read it. And I don't have the experience reading today's comic books,
right?
Like I should. I'm more of an 80s, 90s comic book guy, and this layout really plays to that. So I gave it a 9. I thought the layout was just exactly what I wanted.
I agree with both of you, but I am with Harrison on this. I went with 8. But here's some things there's one page here that I really like. I like how some of the scenes, they come out of the panel and into the next. Like, you got Hawkeye here, going into the next panel, and then you got Electro there coming out into the next or the panel above it. I dug that, so I'm giving this an 8. Okay, I think froze. Okay. Now, writing slash lettering.
So this is where we're not talking about the story, Harrison, more like, how the speech bubbles, the narration blocks, are they,
change
do they
that
look
to
good?
lettering.
Do they, do they keep,
Oops.
more of the lettering
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and
Gotcha.
how it, how it's written, not what's written.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there's a couple scenes where I think it's a little too dialogue heavy and a little hard to follow, like in this scene with him and his dad. I know that's a very important scene, but I kind of wish it was more of like divided up into different panels, because I mean that is just too much to read here. I don't know. When I'm reading comics, I don't want to read a full book page,
Yeah.
Try and have it divided up a little bit more. Yeah, see, there's another one.
Yeah.
That's a small panel too, and I'm like,
Yeah, I need a magnifying glass sometimes.
oh, I
Brian Michael Bendis,
whole
the
thing.
writer, he is a very wordsy writer. He uses a lot of words.
It is not Court of Owls though. That is a wordsy thing.
No,
that was,
yeah, for sure.
They
Okay,
say
I don't know if
no, they're not lying.
you knew this, but the lettering for the Ultimate Universe is different than the lettering for the 616 universe. And I always loved that, because when they crossed over in Spider-Man, I don't know if you know what that series is. It's where Miles Morales met the 616 Peter Parker. Fantastic series. It was like 5 issues. But each of this, the thought bubble or the speech bubbles, the lettering was totally different. And I really dug that.
That's cool. Oh,
Did you
I
give
gave
score,
it a
David?
6. I gave it
Okay.
a 6.
I was like, Harrison, I don't think we got your score. Did we get your score?
I forgot to say it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All right, I got you. 6 for Harrison.
That's right.
All right. I'm a little bit higher than that. Well,
Me too.
I gave it an 8. I thought the writing was good. Speech pattern was good. I like the narration bubbles. Everything looked like it was straightforward. Again, old school style.
Mm-hmm.
I did like it. I didn't know that the font was different in this universe, and I think that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's thoughtfulness in writing the universe. So it's not going to change my score any. I'm still going to give it an 8, but I thought that's a really cool element.
That's why I gave it an 8. Because if I didn't know that, this is just normal lettering. It's nothing fancy, like you said. It's old school. Not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
But the knowledge of knowing this lettering is different than the 616 universe. They did it purposely, which I liked, is why I give it an 8. Okay, we got one more category left, and that is covers. I think I know how Harrison's going to go with this one.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and say a 10. Like, these are just so cool. I really like them. It's not in this one, but there's one I remember that's really cool, where it's like this big muscly guy choking him with chains. I really love that cover art, especially. I think this one is my favorite overall, is with him crouching like Spider-Man. Well, because he is Spider-Man, I guess. But no, yeah, I love it. It's incredible. Very, almost hyper realistic. I love the coloring they use in it. It really helps it pop out. Yeah. So that's why I gave it a 10. I just loved it. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also want to point that one out. That's for issue 5.
Yeah.
Where Spider-Woman's slapping him on his biscuit. So I like the cover art. I thought the cover art is better than the general art. But I gave it an 8. The one thing that I was like, it was like, not for I like the variant art. The variant covers I think are awesome, but the actual issue art, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of effort put into the background. It's just, okay, it's Spider-Man doing something, in a pose or flying or doing whatever or getting smacked by a Spider-Woman. But if you notice that issue, and then I got to go back to it because I lost my place. That one. But I mean, look at the background. I don't, it's the POW. It's just yellow and that's it. I mean, put some buildings in there or a park or a kid on a slide or something with an ice cream cone. I don't care. But I wanted a little bit more with the background stuff. So I actually gave it an 8.
That's a good score.
Evan said Spider-Man and Daredevil always had the best comic covers. They often very similar too. Batman comes in 3rd. And somebody named Really Old Movies, whoever this guy is. He's Reed.
He's probably a weirdo.
I don't know. He's probably some old guy.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna disagree with both of you.
Ooh.
I'm not a fan of these covers. Yeah, it's good art. If I like the later on covers down the line, I'm not a fan of the artist. I did the cover art. I like the first issue cover. I dug that, but I don't like the. I won't say computer generated art because it's not computer generated. Just something about it I wasn't a fan of. So I'm gonna go with 6 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised coming from you.
I don't like.
Surprised.
I want to show you this cover. It's later on down the line. If it pulls up, I like this style artwork I forget what issue was that there, 15?
19.
19. I like that. It's more penciled than I like that one. I like that cover.
Yeah.
But
again,
I don't
it's
like
blue background. It's like, okay. I'm like, yeah, that was my beef. I don't care if it's computer generated or I don't care if it's photoshopped or how they did it. I don't care if the colors digitized instead of actually inked. It doesn't bother me. To an extent, I can see the difference, but it's that it doesn't look like a lot of effort was put into the whole picture. It was my problem with it.
See,
I'm really surprised you gave it a 6, bro. I'm stunned. I have to recalculate my whole things because I already put a 10 there for you. No,
did you really?
A preemptive 10.
Evan is not here for you. We're not here for Turner. What did you think? The Super Show channel.
But I okay. You said you don't like you want more background. Okay.
I want more attention paid to the whole thing.
See, I don't. I don't know if that's a modern comic book thought, because when I see a cover, I don't want to see I just want something to pop out at me. I don't want to see interior art. I want the detail, the buildings, the skyline. I want all that in my interior artwork, not on my cover. I would rather.
I want that.
Yeah, that's a great cover. That'd be.
You don't want more of this, the Doctor Doom?
Yeah, I don't like all the words on the covers.
I don't either. It's too much.
Mm-hmm.
I want that.
Yeah.
It just.
But there's not a whole lot there.
No, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but give me some effort in the back. Give me something. I don't need there to be a parade going and all that kind of stuff. I just, give me a building, and in that last cover, there was just a building on the side and there were some doves flying over.
I'm going to show you something here. Now that you said that, what do you think of this cover to issue number 7? Hold on, if I can get pulled up here. Okay. What do you think of this issue number 7?
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
I dig that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Is that enough?
Yeah.
And I don't know who did that cover. Yeah, Carrie Andrews did that. I like that cover. It's homage to a cover like that in the original Ultimate Spider comic run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know if that's what you meant. Is that what
Yeah.
you want? Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's time for
Time
David
for the reveal.
to do his magic.
Okay, hang on.
Math magic.
Math magic. Oh shit. Oh, it's got Dave After Dark music.
I'm gonna do the math.
Gotta feed the ducks.
All right, gotta feed the ducks. All right, Harrison's done. Okay, I'm done. Okay, so final scores. Harrison gave Ultimate Comics Spider-Man Volume 1 a 72. Rich, you gave it an 83. And I gave it a 79 for a total average score of 78.
I think that's a good score.
Solid.
Gotcha.
Evan says, what I look for in a cover, does it match the mood of the story? Sometimes you get flashy, bright cover, but you get a depressing story. Yeah.
That's a very true thing with today's comics.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I think the cover artist has no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Because they do them.
In the issue. It's
Way
like,
in advance.
well, give me a cover for Batman. I'm like, okay, so draw Batman doing something. And then, but he dies in this issue. So I think a lot of times one hand doesn't wash the other, and the cover artist has no idea what's happening in the actual issue.
Because usually the cover artists get the assignment way in advance. They're like, here's kind of what we're doing. Do this. Yeah.
And they get like a basic plot,
Mhm.
a basic storyline. They're, oh, okay.
Hey, Evan, do you read comics? I mean, do you still read comics? Let us know.
Yeah, you gotta have Evan on. I think he'd have some great insights.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Even if you're a past reader, you don't need to be a current reader. Okay, so you said 79, right?
78. I gave it a 79. 78
Oh,
is the
78. Okay, my question to you, David. We popped your Miles cherry.
sounds awful when you say it.
That did. It really did.
Oh no!
Told you, no touching boys. It's not a thing.
Good night, everyone. This has been the Turner.
All right.
I'll be
We're
canceled.
We're gonna get the channel shut down. The
Yeah.
cops are coming.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
And canceled for sure. Okay.
Would you read volume 2?
No,
Really?
I probably wouldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. This is not something that I would continue buying.
Wow.
And not because I didn't like it. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Or is it because you know what happens? Because of the movie?
Really? Yeah. I'd rather just watch the next Spider-Verse movie when it comes out and enjoy it that way. But yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
interesting. And
Yeah, I'm shocked.
I'm going to put that in the lines of Walking Dead because I've been a fan of the series all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I would continue reading that because of its differences
Oh, yeah.
to the show.
Mhm.
I would want more of that. Yeah, this I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I had fun, and I'm glad we
Okay.
read it.
Me too.
But yeah, no, I probably wouldn't continue the storyline
Oh, okay.
unless you went, bro, I want to do volume 2, and I'll be like, okay. Then I'll have to go ahead and read it.
Okay, Harrison. You've read these already, right?
So Evan says he does read comics, but mostly Batman
Oh, okay. I'm gonna hit you up. Okay.
and Donald
I
Duck.
will- And Donald Duck. Okay, I'm just gonna ask you here. Do you want to come on for a sit-down interview on Comics, Evan? We would love to have you. What about you, Harrison? You've read these. Would you go back and reread these? Or would you finish the 29 issues?
Well, I remember why I sold my comics. I don't think I will continue it unless you asked me to.
And we're gonna say goodbye to Harrison.
Yep. See you, everyone. I'm sorry.
Thanks for joining.
Is the news story better? I don't know. I hope so. But as is, I don't have as much of an investment.
Okay. I respect both of your opinions.
Yeah.
All art is subjective, but for me, I'm gonna go balls deep on this and reread them.
I was gonna say you already have.
Yeah, I've continued this. I forgot how much I love this original run. What's wrong, David?
Nothing. You went balls deep. You named your son Miles. I put that together.
Oh no!
I cannot get.
Oh man,
no!
I love this run. These twin.
Evan would always love to chat. I don't know if I'm as knowledgeable as you guys, but I
You
would
don't
love
need to be.
No, I am not knowledgeable, bro. I am.
Neither am I.
But you give me time to read something, then I have something to bring to the table. But
I will hit you up later, Evan. But I fell in love with. I re-fell in love with this run of Miles Morales. This part of his story. So
yeah,
I'm
it
definitely
brought
going
the nostalgia for you for
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know all that stuff, and I think that's awesome.
And I was a hot take. I prefer these 29 issues of Miles Morales over what's going on right now. It's the overall Spider-Man comic universe. I feel he's not bogged down by what has Spider-Man been around 50 years, 40, 50 years now. He has very limited continuity flaws. So for me, Miles Morales is my Spider-Man. And I'm going to keep on reading.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of wraps up issue 11 of Comic Talk. Harrison, I know you have a really...
Nate thinks he's bogged down too.
You talking about Peter Parker?
Yeah, Miles. I think. Yeah, he said, I think he's bogged down, Rich.
Harrison, I know you said you got a... thanks, Michael. Appreciate you, as always.
Yep.
I know you have your job situation. So tell me, do you have anything coming up on your channel, podcast?
Yeah. So this week is all about the movie Dark Journey. It's a random 1930s British film I found on Canopy. And so that'll be coming out this Saturday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's coming up.
Okay. Oh, you said Canopy. What the hell is that?
Canopy. So it's a streaming service that a lot of schools and local libraries sign up with. And if you get a library card and register with them, you can access movies for free. So it's essentially checking out movies on a digital platform. So
I've never
cool.
heard of that.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone has it, but if you have access to it, check it out. They got some great stuff on there. A lot of more obscure, older movies, and even some more recent releases and documentaries. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. I didn't know. You just taught me something I didn't know about.
Yeah.
And you said that's this Saturday?
That'll be this Saturday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Awesome. What about you, David? What you got coming up?
Oh, you know me. I always got stuff going on.
You do.
So let's see. On this coming Sunday, I have Spirits with Spirits, where we basically drink alcohol and talk about the paranormal.
And it's kind of freaky.
It is kind of freaky, especially when our paranormal devices are saying his name, talking about Rich while he's on the show. And it only
That's
happens
weird.
when he's on. But so our ghosts actually talk to him during the show.
So
Yeah,
good.
We're
it freaks me
going to
out.
be talking about cryptids of Mexico.
Hey,
on
my
Sunday.
people.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we have our By the Numbers on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Which we got
Where-
some good movies.
Episode 20, we're going to be looking at above all things. We're going to look at Fast X
Mm-hmm.
and a few other really good stuff. So we take new releases in the theater, on streaming, or on physical, and we give them a watch. We give them the lowdown treatment, and tell you guys whether we liked them or not. And then on Thursday, the 25th, we're going to do a special live stream on Instagram. And this is going to be Rich and myself. We're going to be drafting our final list for our final top 10. Because we've been doing the Sesame Street top 10 where we do our top 10 by letter. We have 13 letters left plus the number. So we're going to draft one movie from each of those and do one final shebang for the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move on to some other topic.
Yeah. And you're going to be kind of a peek behind the curtain how we do our draft. And sometimes the panic of like, oh shit, I ain't got nothing.
I don't know what to pick.
Yeah. It's like, West Side Story for you.
I know that's coming.
Oh, it is.
And I'm just going to go.
And
But-
that's on Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday.
That's next Thursday, day before my birthday.
Mhm.
So, it'll be a
You're gonna be
lot.
21.
Like I said, times 4.
Yeah.
Just for Criterion is on there too. Another thing with great stuff. Okay, seeing Fast X tomorrow.
Me too.
Harrison's
Nate.
super excited. Hopefully get that review. Yeah. Michael's hyped to see the draft. Be cool. From my hotel room, he's gonna do the
Oh, that's
review.
right. You're out in California. That's right.
Nate, you're in California, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably
Yeah.
closer to Harrison than you are me. But
I'm actually going to be seeing him tomorrow. We're going to watch the Fast and Furious together.
ah,
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I think
I know,
I
me too, Evan. Oh,
think
that'd be
Evan's in
awesome.
California too.
That's fucking awesome. Well, I hope you two enjoy it, man.
I haven't seen any of them, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, I bet Nate. I hope you enjoy the company with Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that's really it. No, was you gonna say something?
no, I was gonna get mad at Nate and Harrison for not inviting me, but you know,
Well, guys,
probably probably a 5-hour drive for me to get
Oh,
to you
shit.
guys.
that's a long drive.
Yeah.
I want to thank each and every one of you. Oh, first, I want to thank David. I want to thank Harrison. Thank you for joining us, joining me to talk comics.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Of course.
We haven't decided what our next book is, but when we do, we'll let you know. And Harrison, you're always invited to come
Well,
join and read it with.
Are we doing 2 next month?
Remind me, my brain's farting.
Okay, we were talking about Court of Owls Volume 2
Oh yeah, we have to get with Alex on that.
because Alex is going to be
Mhm.
running all the DC junk.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about one more, and we weren't sure what we were going to do with that. I knew a storyline I wanted, but
What's that?
I wanted to do Fantastic Four with the Fantastic Four run with the Silver Surfer and Galactus, and then run a comparison to the movie, which
Oh,
sucked balls.
we can do that, man. Just let me know what the issues are, and we
Yeah.
can figure it out.
I know it's Marvel, so we don't want to do Marvel, but
No, that's
you know,
okay.
if you have something else in like Image or whatever, let me know.
No,
But
dude, you.
that was my next thing if we did another Marvel one.
No, I'm up for doing Fantastic Four. It's been a long time since I've read
Mike
anything
says, start driving now and pick me up. Bro.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll talk about it. I think I like the idea of the Fantastic Four. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for spending the time with us. Remember, hit that like, hit the subscribe to all 3 of our channels. That's it, man. You guys have a great night. Great. What time?
I can't pick you up.
What time is it there? It's still early for you guys, right?
It's 9:01 for me.
It's 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, guys, it's still early for you guys. Well, it's late for me. I'm probably going to try to watch a movie, probably fall asleep. But other than that, you guys have a great week. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Oops, forgot.